Hello, friends, and welcome to Between the Skeins. My name is Meg, and I am the yarn dyer behind Megs & Co., and we are in my yarn dyeing room. This is perhaps the first of many episodes, or it might be one long episode. I am just not sure at this point because today is the very first day of a probably multi-month long project that I am starting today, and I thought that I would take you guys along. So today I am going to be dyeing up something really special that, at least for now, is just for me. There's always the potential that I'm going to bring something like this into my shop, but for right now, I am doing something just for me. I'm not planning for shop updates. I'm not planning a collection. I'm just doing something for me. And the reason for this is I have an event coming up in a couple weeks. So right now it is January. And in April, I plan to attend the Fiber Witch Festival that is in Salem, Massachusetts. And one of the events that I was lucky enough to get tickets for, there is a ball type event, and it sounds so much fun. And I saw, photos and videos of it last year. It just looked like so much fun. I mean, who really needs a reason and an excuse to dress up? I do not. I love dressing up and I love a good theme. And so this year's theme is very sea inspired. And so I got inspired to try a brand new yarn. It just seemed so kismet because the yarn distributor, one of them, I use many of them, one of the yarn distributors that I use, literally, as in like last week, sent an email update that they just started stocking a brand new yarn. And I thought it would be absolutely perfect to try to incorporate into my outfit. So it is an alpaca silk, but it's got the most subtle little hints of rainbow stellina. So they actually called this mermaid stellina, which, I read that description and I was like, oh my gosh, mermaid stellina for it's not exactly a mermaid themed ball, but an of the sea type ball. It's so pretty. It's just so subtle. I like that it's like just the tiny little hints of that rainbow and gold stellina. But otherwise, it is just like your normal kind of Suri silk alpaca. It's a very high grade silk, so it's very nice, super nice. Yes, so I potentially have a dress. I have a dress on order and on the way. I'm a little nervous about the fit. It's one of those ones where like the bust and the waist were the right measurement, but the hips were not. But they didn't have a size up. So I just had to go for it, and we're just going to cross our fingers and hope. And if we have to send it back, we send it back. But regardless, it is April, and it is going to be in Salem. So even on a nice day, it is probably going to be chilly at night because it's going to be windy and spring. So I definitely want something for my shoulders. And I'm still not 100% sure exactly what I'm making, but I do want some kind of poncho or cape, like a little capulet kind of a thing. And it's funny because I was already thinking of doing it in mohair. So I had originally planned this in mohair. And that's why it was just so perfect that the distributor that I use had put out this brand new yarn with the bits of the rainbow stellina in there. I was like, oh my gosh, that's perfect. So I'm just pivoting over to this instead of the mohair that I already carry in my shop to use as this. And I actually also have a Suri alpaca base too, which I could have used as well. So, so I actually have it in the pan. It's been heating for a little bit, and I'm really excited to get that going. So I definitely want something that's very oceanic, mermaid. My dress that I hope I can make work is very, aqua sea green, very sea glass colored, the kind of quintessential, what I think is quintessential mermaid colors. So I want to stick with that. So the colors I've mixed up, I definitely want to keep it very light, aquatic. I want to keep it very pastel, but I want to make sure that we are going with bright aquatic and not like Easter egg pastel. So I've mixed up quite a few. I have 4 different dyes that I've mixed up, and I've actually chosen a couple. 2 of the dyes that I've chosen are actually like neon based colors. I usually don't do a lot of neon or fluorescent type dyes, but for this one, I'm actually going to use 2 fluorescent dyes, meaning that they will actually react in black light. And the reason that I'm doing that is because I think that they'll keep a lot of brightness in the yarn instead of kind of fading into that kind of Easter egg pastel. But I'm using them at an extremely low concentration, extremely low. So for context, I'm using them at a 0.1% depth of shade for the amount of yarn that I have in the pans. So I have 3 skeins of yarn in the pans right now. And so I think I'm going to get to it. Yeah, so let's do it. I do have my phone set up, a little pan cam, so you can do like Instagram reels and stuff. So hopefully the phone isn't too in the way, or it might just, hey, you might just be watching that video instead, but let's get to it.
To belong, trying to make it seem like we're somebody else. Set the perfect frame up, hide behind the makeup, like it's with the cost of losing yourself. Sit there all alone, wishing we were known, trying to find a home in the palm of our hand. Think it's time to wake up from the world we made up. No better time than now to begin. A picture's only worth a couple thousand words, and that's the only thing it'll ever be. And when it's up and gone, I'll hold it in a song and try to make it feel like it used to be. Can we trace it back to moment's gonna hold it in a song. A picture's only worth a couple thousand words, and that's the only thing it'll ever be. And when it's up and gone, I'll hold it in a song and try to make it feel like it used to. Can we trace it back to the moments past? I'll give anything for that feeling. 'Cause a picture's only worth a couple thousand words, and all I really want is the real thing. Oh, I want the real thing. The real thing.
So excited. It's always so hard to tell what it's really going to look like out of the pan. So I actually ended up only adding half of what I had mixed up. So I was just like looking at the dyes, and some of them just still looked a little too dark, and so I ended up cutting them all in half. So again, just that's how little bit of dye is in there, because I did half of 0.1%. So what is that? 0.05. I don't know math, but it is such a teeny tiny amount of dye. It's the kind of amount of dye that you actually would have to way more than you would need and dilute it back, because that's even too little dye for my scale to measure. So I would have to measure more and then dilute it back, um, unless I'm doing multiple batches, and then it's fine. But I'm so happy with how it came out. It's very mermaidy. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. So I am glad that I do have more skeins though, because when you order a bag from the mill, they come with 10 skeins. So I have 3 in the pan, which means that I still have 7 more to play with. And I'm super excited with this color. It's absolutely beautiful. But I do already, like I know what color I'm going to dye next. This is how my brain works. I'm like, I dye one and I'm like, oh, I need to go somewhere else now. Because I really loved what all the greens were doing together before I added that purple color. Um, and so I kind of want to see what just the greens and the blues do without the purple color, because I'm kind of thinking that while that purple color is still very mermaid, it's also a little like unicorn My Little Pony at the same time, which I think it's still going to be beautiful. So now I'm actually thinking it might be really fun to have maybe something that's kind of faded. Like, what if I did a batch that is more pinky purple, and then I have this, and then I have a batch that's just the greens and the blues, and then I can have, whether it's that kind of poncho or, that kind of cape thing that I'm thinking of. Um, yeah, I kind of want just like a shawl, but I guess I want something that I can like latch closed. So that's why I'm thinking of something that's more like fully rounded, like a cape. So I can put it over my shoulders and latch it closed. So I'm thinking of like, walking in the wind. um, and then that way I don't have to like worry about it moving around. But anyway, and then I can like knit it in like a fade. I just think that would be incredibly beautiful. So, and I have no pattern in mind. Um, and it might just be, maybe this will be something that I self-draft. There's like no time, because, oh my gosh, at 3 months, I've got 3 months to self-draft this. So, but I can do it, because I was kind of thinking, like the way to do it would be, because I thought like if I did just do like a poncho, would be just doing it almost like a pullover. So starting with a pullover pattern, but then just never splitting for sleeves, and just increasing. And probably when I'm ready to split for sleeves, doing lots of increases, so I get that almost kind of ruffly, type circular thing, and then it's just like a big almost skirt around my arms. Um, yeah, so then I don't know. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But then it wouldn't be open in the front, so I don't know if that would annoy me because then I would have to, like, physically, take it up over my head and if my hair's done, so now I'm back to kinda wanting something that I can open and close, and then it doesn't have to go up and over hair, so then it has to be some sort of back and forth shawl, um, kind of full half circle, more than a half circle, almost a full circle, but you're knitting it back and forth, so you're just not in the round. I think that's what I gotta do, right? I'm so excited. Anyway, so I'm so excited how this batch came out. And like I said, I love when dye hits the yarn and I just instantly already want to just go somewhere else with the same colors, but just what if we did this? And what if we did this? And it just makes me so excited. I love how I can see the little rainbow bit coming through the dye. It's so beautiful. Um, I'm just really excited. So I've never actually dyed stellina before, if you can believe that. I do have a sparkle yarn that's in my shop. It's called Glamour Girl. Um, I don't carry it regularly, but from time to time I will stock it. And it is regularly stocked at Lipbridge Yarns, and they do ship, so you can check out their website. But that yarn is very unique in that the sparkle component is lurex, which is an actual metallic thread, whereas stellina is an actual plastic filament. So that is the downside of stellina, is that it is just a reflective plastic filament that is then just um, kind of combed and then plied into the yarn. So it's just kind of why I chose the lurex, which is an actual metallic thread versus the stellina. I can go into more reasons, but because the lurex as well is also a lot more stronger because it is an actual metallic thread, so it makes that yarn, even though it's just a 2-ply ultra soft fine yarn, the lurex in it actually makes it super strong, and so they're actually wonderful for socks. I've knit a couple pairs of socks out of that yarn, and they're my most resilient socks. But now I'm just going on a tangent. So I just haven't gone too far into the stellina. I've never dyed it, just for that reason. Um, I just wasn't interested in the plastic, but I couldn't resist this yarn. And I'm curious because I've heard that because I use citric acid as my acid base, and I've heard that sometimes the citric acid can dull the stellina. So I definitely want to be really conscious to get this out of the acid as quickly as possible. So pretty much as soon as this is exhausted, um, I'm going to get it out of the pan. So I'm going to make sure that I don't shock it, as in change its temperature. But I'm probably going to at least get it out of the pan and just set it into just another container and then let it completely cool, just so that it's not sitting in the water. And then as soon as it is cool, wash it. Versus normally I let this slow cool overnight and then wash it the next day. But just because I've heard online that the longer that the stellina is exposed to the acid, that it can dull and it can lose its purpliness. So I'm not going to take any chances. All right. So I guess until next time, like I said, I don't know if there's going to be another episode or if it's just going to be one long journey. But until next time, we'll see. We'll see if there'll be more colors.